Welcome back, friends. If you're new here, my name's Daniel. This is my wife, LZ, and we travel full-time in our converted cargo trailer. And one of the hard things with traveling full-time is staying fit, especially around and on travel days. So I reached out to my good friend, Caileen. I've known for a long time, and Caileen is an expert on fitness and nutrition. She's a bodybuilder athlete herself, and a coach for lifestyle and for bodybuilding competition. So figured, what a better person to ask these questions to.
It is my bread and butter. I love this stuff and I'm happy to be on here. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And with working for Team Fflex, you come from the end of being quite skinny to building up muscle. And your boss, Ryan, actually comes from the opposite end of being obese to now being very fit, and you're both very healthy. So I think talking to you coming from Team Fflex is a great way for everyone else who's out there who comes from different body types as well to actually see that you can get fit without having to use steroids.
That's absolutely true.
And you can be healthy.
And not to mention that, like, as a side note too, while I was stick thin, my nutrition was dude. It was crap. I mean, I had no idea anything about nutrition. So like being able to learn through all that stuff and nourish my body with the better for me things has been awesome as well.
Caileen, what do you think is so hard for us to do workout during travel?
Man, travel days are intense. I know. I mean, I don't live on the road, but I've traveled enough that I know your whole day kind of just is uprooted and the carpet's pulled out from underneath you. And for so many people, it's just easy to say, "Fuck it, I'm not doing anything because this is a stressful day and, you know, I just don't want to do it." But one thing that's very important is that exercise is actually a great way of stress relief. So by not doing your workout, you're almost like sabotaging yourself more because you could be at a more relaxed state for the rest of the day, more focused, more centered, all that good stuff. So I know motivation on these days can be lagging sometimes, and I do have like 3 tips that I like to have in my pocket to help me with motivation, because I realize not everybody is like popping out of bed and saying, "I'm ready to work out."
Usually for us, we get up early, we have our breakfast real quick, we hitch up the trailer, and then we're trying to get on the road right away to get to where we're going.
We're in the go, go, go.
Yeah, the go, go, go. And then when you get there, you're so exhausted. How do you even think about trying to like do a workout? So you're saying do it right away before you even start that process.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. What are some tips to actually do that? Because that motivation to do that is a struggle.
Yes. So first thing I would do is make an appointment with yourself. So even if it has to be on your iPhone calendar, set your appointment before you're planning to wake up to do your workout. So when you have this appointment, it's like your time to yourself that you are dedicating to your workout. You know it's going to make you feel better. There's never, ever a bad workout, and it's just going to set the momentum for the rest of the day for you. You're going to have more energy throughout the day. You're going to feel better. And so by making that appointment, you've got that under control.
So the only bad workout is the workout you don't do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You never regret a workout. Okay, so my second tip is to have a killer playlist on tap. Like, I don't know if you do Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music.
More like classical jazz. I don't think that qualifies as a killer.
All right, so we might need to like throw some EDM in there, some dubstep, like something that'll just get you. I mean, it could be like classic rock too, just whatever. You know, you hear a song, you're like, yeah, this is a banger. Like, this makes me want to do shit. So I would have that queued up and ready for the day. Also, one more thing about being queued up and ready is have your workout clothes ready to go the night before. That's a tip that is very helpful. Or sometimes, since like you guys live on your own, you can just sleep in your workout clothes. And then you wake up, you're already dressed for the day, and it's like, boom, I'm ready to go.
That's a great tip.
Yes, I've done that before a few times when it's super early workouts, and then like even thinking about getting clothes on is like a task. So
That's true.
My third tip is like, and I don't do too much of this, but if you use a pre-workout, do you guys use a pre-workout?
Coffee.
So
Pre-day
coffee
workout.
is actually a great pre-workout if you don't do anything else. If you want a little bit extra, there are things called pre-workouts on the market. Some of them can be a little intense, like 300 milligrams of caffeine, which is wild. But anyway, but say you just take 300 milligrams of caffeine to the dome, you're not going to waste that, right? You're going to work. So, I mean, they're not ideal. We could go on and on about adrenal fatigue and caffeine, but in a worst case scenario, a pre-workout might help you out as well.
So what type of a workout would you recommend for a travel day or when you're short on time?
Absolutely, because yeah, you don't want to wake up even earlier to get this done. One of the best things you can do is like a circuit type workout that uses your entire body. So with the circuit type workout, you can go through probably about 25-30 minutes and you'll be sweating, your heart is pounding, your muscles are growing, and you are ready to go. And really simple format you can follow for those too. You can kind of just pick 4 or 5 moves that are going to get the heart rate up. So we're thinking full body, like squats, burpees, like anything that you do 1 or 2 that you're just like, whew, okay, I'm feeling that. So you can kind of pick and choose, but when I say pick and choose, that doesn't mean just eliminate burpees the whole time because you hate them. You know, you got to do the things that are hard too. So, and I like 45 seconds of this high intensity movement, 15 seconds of rest, and then you go right into the next movement, 4 or 5 movements. At the end of the 4 or 5 movements, maybe take 1 minute of rest and get right back to it. So easy.
Easy. That's what you say.
Yes.
So that actually brings up one of my other questions. You know, I could see people working on that in a home gym or a outside gym, but Caileen, we live in a 128 square foot, and we don't really have the space for all the weights and such, unless you count my tools. So, any suggestions for how we handle that part of the difficulty?
Absolutely. So first of all, a lot of people don't give enough credit to body weight workouts. So nothing on you, do like a minute of squats and tell me you're not gassed, all right? So of course, if for some reason you're not, then we have tools that can help. So I got some of my must-haves, whether you are in 128 square feet or you're at home or you're traveling. Honestly, even before the pandemic hit, I always had these on hand because they are so helpful. I even bring all this to the gym with me every single day, actually, because sometimes it's either not available at the gym or, you know, they just don't have it available.
So I'm familiar with resistant bands. We have some of those, but what do you have in your left hand?
So these are booty bands, which as a male, I don't expect every male to have them because there's a stigma about boys building a booty, but glutes are important whether you're a man or a female because lower back pain. If you have lower back pain, it's probably because your glutes are weak. So we will go into some glute stuff.
Let's start with what we know, what a lot of people are familiar with. Let's
Okay.
start with some resistance bands. Now, I know how to do like 2 things with resistance band. I know how to like put it on a pole and kind of go like this, and I know how to stick it around my foot and kind of go like this.
Oh man.
And so I don't pick them up a lot because I don't know what to do with them.
There is so much to do. I know you're linking the specific Amazon set to the YouTube or whatever. I like this one because it does have adjustability. So I do have one normal run-of-the-mill resistance band, which we actually will be using because I lost my handles for these. But this set actually comes with handles. And what's nice about that is because this resistance band is one size fits all, you can't really adjust. Where these guys, you can actually adjust your resistance if you need more, less, whatever you got, you can clip multiple ones to it. I also like that they have this attachment as well. Have you used this attachment before?
I used it once, but I don't think I was using it right.
Really?
So with these, you kind of lace your band through and you close it in a door.
Okay.
So of course you want to make sure it's very secure before you put it in the door. You can kind of do some face pulls, which work the shoulders. You can kneel down and do some lats, single arm each side. You can do standing lat pull down. So much you can do. Like this door attachment will be key to working the back because back and legs are two areas that are very hard to work out without a gym. So that piece will be clutch for that. Of course, you can stick it in the door sideways and do some rows like this. Definitely working the back there as well. So those are some back exercises you can do with that. With the legs, I'm gonna switch to my standard run-of-the-mill one. Well, first of all, you worked your chest a little bit, which is great. You worked your biceps, which is great, but you also have shoulders. So we flip the palms down. We've got some front raises. You can pull it out to the side, do a little bit of lateral raises. You can also step on one side, do some tricep as well. And the trick with resistance bands, and what I love so much about them, is that you can really customize the resistance. So you see, that was like a little too easy for me. I'm gonna take a step. I'm gonna take a step in, and that's gonna tighten it just a little bit. So by adjusting your foot placement, shortening, lengthening the resistance band, you can really just custom.
And on top of that, you have different weights.
Right. So you can also combine with the set that we had mentioned. Now you can also do some shoulder presses here as well. I love working shoulders, if you can't tell. It's a bikini thing, I can't help it. And you can also, if you want to do, this is a great full body exercise, is do a squat, press, squat, press. But you can also cross and do a little squat walk here, work those glutes like we were talking about. So again, adjusting your tension based on your length, go behind the back, a nice little lat spread there. So I'm gonna show you some exercises we can do with the booty band. So I'll have you do this. Actually, no, you put that one around. I'll do. Oh, no. So this one's actually the strongest. This is a Team Fflex band. So easiest thing to do, if your body weight squats are no longer challenging you, put the booty band right above the knees, squat on down, bring it on up. Now the band is going to make you push your knees out, which is going to engage those outer glutes. I don't know if you can feel that already. Woo, it's a burner. So squatting up and down, easy peasy thing you can do. You know what else you can do? Squat walk, side to side, right here. Equal steps left and right. So when you're doing a circuit like this, you might want to do 45 seconds stepping one side, 45 seconds stepping the other, because you don't want to create an imbalance here. I'm just going to go straight into working the glutes, because I'm sure you guys could use a lot of glute stuff. So if we get to the ground, one of my favorite exercises is a hip thrust. Now you don't have to do this with a band, you can do it without a band. And you know what you could do is you can grab your tool set, put it right on your lap, and do some hip thrusts. I filled a backpack full of weights to do this at my house during the quarantine, because the more weight you have, the more you can progressively overload. And that's yeah, I was gonna say, anything really can become a weight. I used soup cans for some dumbbells early on in the pandemic. I used my water bottle, like I have a 3-gallon, to do some deadlifts. Ooh, we could do some deadlifts with these too, if you've got some heavy, like your heavy tool bag. So you push the hips back and just hinge from the hips and bring it on up. That's gonna work the hamstrings and the glutes, because I know you guys are probably very quad dominant with the cyclists. Yeah. I know nothing about that life. I'm so hamstring dominant, it's crazy. But you can also do the deadlifts with the bands as well. Gosh, there's just so many possibilities. And that's why, of course, if you have a coach with Team Fflex, we can write you the workouts so you don't even have to think about them. But yeah, honestly, there's so many possibilities you can do with the booty bands. Stuff on the ground you can do. You can do kickbacks where your shoulders are underneath your palms and you just go straight to the ceiling with a foot. Go each side, of course, equal amounts. Or you can do fire hydrants. Now, both of these moves you can do without the band, but if you get strong enough that it's not a challenge anymore, you'll definitely want to pick out some of these bands. So that way
it's called the fire hydrant.
You know why, right? Yeah.
We've been walking my mom's 2 dogs, and they're both male. And
yes.
Oh my God. every bush.
Yes, so those are two great moves. And there's so many you can do, honestly, so many.
Right, and that's part of the problem sometimes of getting started, and that's why what you do is so helpful to people, because you tell them exactly what to do.
Yes.
And I can definitely see having a coach being super helpful. Like I have, as a cyclist, I personally always have the struggle of I'm the coach and the athlete myself. Which, do I do this? Where am I in my progress? How do I change my training plan?
Next thing you know, like 2-3 hours are gone, and you like haven't done a workout. You're still trying to decide what workout to do.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's like, I was telling LZ earlier, even I have a coach because I do this all day long for other people. The last thing I want to do is go in and plan one for me. So it's like nice to be able to go in, not go on autopilot, but have someone telling me what to do. Because the other thing is too, especially with workouts like this, it's like, am I challenging myself enough? I don't know.
Right, especially when you're trying to balance work, family, everything that's come along the past couple of years.
Yes, yes.
And then you're also trying to, you still compete.
Yes, I do compete, yes. So it is, and especially I was telling LZ too, competitors that coach themselves, like, whew, kudos to you, because I would be in my head the whole time. Am I lean enough? Am I not lean enough? I don't know. So, and then of course there's the whole nutrition aspect of it, which is a whole nother video
Yeah,
with
and
us.
we will be getting to that, so stick with us for next week. This is part 1 of part 2, because there's so much to go into when it comes to nutrition on the road and when traveling, nutrition in general. But it becomes really hard when traveling when you can't control your own space so much. So, and your routine's all thrown off. So we're going to do a whole separate video on that. So make sure to like and subscribe and follow along both here, and you have a YouTube channel yourself.
I do. It's a baby YouTube compared to this, all right? So no judgment, it's gonna get better, but yes, small steps, big changes with Caileen. I just give a few tips and low cost or no cost ways to optimize your life, basically.
Right, and we're going to link that down below. You also have an Instagram, and I've been following you a very long time because we're friends on Instagram, but you give a lot of tips and tricks and nutrition advice on there as well.
Yes, Instagram is definitely more my jam as far as, you know, free information to give out. I love helping people. Like, someone telling me like, oh, your tip helped me out so much, like that just fills my cup beyond belief, because like if I can help one person make one small change that affects the rest of their lives, like boom, like what more can you ask for? So anyway, I'd love to take you guys on a free week trial. Just click the link down below. All you need is your first and last name and email address, no credit card required. When you fill out your consult, tell them that Tiny Home Ventures sent you, and yeah, work with me for a week.
All right, friends, thanks for checking out this video. Just a reminder, it's free to support all of us. All you gotta do is subscribe and like, and we will see you next week back here with Caileen.
Boom.
It's so awkward.